and
Oddworld.
Hey oddballs, I'm your host Jensen, and welcome to episode 162. Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. Also, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you August 6th babies. Yes, I'm feeling a little unhinged today, but I hope you're having a great day, and we're going to get to know you from the birthday book. So here we go.
Happy birthday.
Blessed with great charm, the strong wills and convictions that occasionally emerge from behind the normally mild-mannered facade of those born on this day often surprise those who do not know them well. Yet despite their pragmatic recognition of need to keep others on side, it is precisely these beliefs, arrived after rigorous thought, that inform their actions and ambitions, in effect providing them with a blueprint to which they conduct their lives accordingly. And although their visions may also encompass short-term or minor goals, these individuals are generally concerned with the wider picture, especially if they are also born in the Chinese Year of the Dragon, with making global social, scientific, or political improvements, for example, or with pushing the bounds of human endeavor forward as artists or athletes. Provided that they are allowed to retain decision-making powers and the fundamental autonomy that is so vital to them, their perceptive intellects, propensity for taking direct action, and unwavering determination augurs well for their success in whatever professional field they choose to apply their considerable energies. In their personal lives, too, August 6th individuals are often guided by their moral values, which instill in them an appreciation of the importance of secure bonds of friendship and kinship. Yet their overriding commitment to their work, when combined with their strong sense of responsibility for those closest to them, may cause those born on this day to overstretch themselves by attempting to devote equal time to their professional and private concerns. With their well-developed intellectual powers of perception and organization, they are also willing to compromise when necessary. Their virtues are magnetic, perceptive, open-minded. Their vices are self-destructive, obsessive, self-absorbed. So happy birthday again, you August 6th babies. If this sounds like you or somebody you know, as always let me know, and let's go ahead and move on to stories.
This comes from virtual_till 2005 on Reddit.
This happened about 4 years ago. I was working in a popular jewelry shop in a shopping center. It was the late shift, probably about 8:39 p.m. There was me and 2 other staff members on shift. A bit of background for the story. When you're in our shop, the only way to enter the staff area is through one door. You can get to a small office through here, which has 2 doors. One that leads to a walkway to the toilet and onto the shop floor, and the other that leads to a storage area. The storage area has automatic lights that only turn on when you walk into the room. I was on shift with 2 other women, and I went out of the office to return some jewelry. When I saw a woman's face looking back at me from behind the door of the storage area, I could see about 3/4 of her face, and the rest was covered with the door. Her facial expression was very still. She wasn't smiling. She had an angry expression, and she was staring at me. I looked away confused, then looked back, and she was gone. The lights in the storage room were still off, which confused me. So I walked towards the room thinking it was one of my coworkers. As I started approaching the door, a loud crash sound came from behind me. I looked back at where it was coming from, thinking a tray of charms had fallen or something. The trays we keep the charms and jewelry in aren't sealed. They are open at the top, and if they are dropped, they go everywhere. Trust me, I know from experience. When I looked behind me, the charms were all still on the shelf in their trays. I instantly got a sinking feeling because nothing had been moved. I then backed out of the office and went out onto the shop floor where both of my colleagues were. I know it wasn't my colleagues because if they had come out to the office, I would have seen them as the door was next to the office. There was no explanation for what happened or who the lady I saw was or what made the noise. What do you guys think? Well, I'm thinking that the shop is a little bit haunted. Or maybe it's like the only time that this has happened. I don't know. I didn't ask, but it's very creepy. And the fact that the lights weren't on says enough. I should have asked if this person or maybe their colleagues had gone in there at all during the rest of their shift. Because hypothetically, what if it was a real person and they had just been in there for so long that the lights turned off? Because they're motion lights, and so if you kind of just stand still for a while, they'll go off eventually. So that's one theory if it's not paranormal. But I'm gonna go with the paranormal route because, first of all, it's just the fact that this woman was just all of a sudden in there. There were no lights on, and then you get the noise on top of it too. Because what is that? And also, I would be very upset if a tray of jewelry charms, I don't know how many are on there, but I know that they're little, I'm sure. If they just got knocked over and was all over the floor, I would be very upset. And I love that the person was like, trust me, I know from experience. So sorry that happened to you at one point, because that just sounds like a headache. But I mean, what could have been the noise? It's all so weird. It's just weird. It's fun. It's fun because it's like, hey, who is this woman and why is she in the jewelry store? I mean, maybe she's mad because she's locked inside of the storage area, or I don't know, maybe that used to be the land of where her house was, or maybe she died in the shopping center, truthfully. So we had a mall over here before they tore it down, and it was definitely spooky. I was one of the last 2 stores in the entire mall, and I got a little background tour of the mall, and it was spooky. Someone actually had died in the mall. I believe it was in the movie theater, but either way, it was spooky. It was spooky when I was working just in my little store because you just kind of got the sense of someone watching you. And I hated that. And it was a very quiet mall because other than the mall walkers who would come in and walk the mall, we had enough business to keep it open, but not enough to be oh my God, I'm so busy. It just wasn't a thing. And the hallways, oh gosh, scary. Listen, shopping centers can be freaking scary when you're the one who's working in them. There was another one that I worked in actually, and not to make this all about me, but now this is bringing up some memories, but another one that I worked in was not a mall. It was just a shopping strip. And I came in early in the morning for my shift, and I had never really felt this way before in there, but where the dressing rooms were, it was so freaking dark in there. And I remember walking past and seeing something in the mirror other than myself. And I just got this sick feeling. And I all my blood drained from my face. I swear to God. And I just felt really oh my God, there's actually somebody in here right now. And so I flipped all the lights on and then I ran back out there, and there was nothing in there. I mean, don't get me wrong. I wasn't super brave. I took something to beat the crap out of somebody if they were in there, but it was spooky. It was spooky. Shopping centers can be spooky. And I want to know what this lady is doing, who she is. If this happened again, I need to know. But really what I need to know is, has this happened before, or was this just a one-off thing? I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it because I've kind of been in that position where you're working and then something's there that shouldn't be there. So anyhow, what do you guys think? Let me know, and let's go ahead and move on to the next story.
This comes from Rumbleskunk on Reddit.
I'm a corrections officer in a really old prison. The instructional grounds were built in the 1850s and was a boys' industrial school for 100 years before being converted into a state prison. I work a one-man post on third shift in the old dorm built in the 1880s. So it's already a creepy place. There are 2 to 3 ghosts running around the place. The first one is the key man. I hear him a lot. Just the sound of jangling keys. Some old-time CO still makes his rounds, I suppose. Second one is the shadow man. I've seen him a few times. It flows when it moves. Like coffee spilled on a table. I don't know if the shadow man and the key man are the same entity or not. The third one is the boy. A little boy, maybe 10 years old, with dark hair and a white t-shirt. He is always on or near the stairs and moves real quick, like seeing a mouse scurry away out of the corner of your eye. I never felt threatened by any of them. I just felt like sharing my nightly experiences with y'all and see if any of you have had any similar experiences. So I did have questions right after I read this story, and I got answers quite quickly, but I asked this person, I said, does this happen most nights that you work? And is it just kind of like part of the job now? And they replied that the key man is nightly, but the others are just like once a week or so. And it's just kind of part of the job. They also said that they see shadows move from time to time on the cameras and sounds like shuffling feet behind them when they're at their desk and they're seated against a brick wall. So I don't know. And they also said, for a little more creepy perspective, they call the prison the Hill because it sits on top of a hilltop surrounded by forests and sandstone cliffs and the foothills of the Appalachians. And that's enough right there just to set the whole scene for everything. Because like, if you haven't heard of the Appalachians, like it's supposed to be super haunted and spooky. And I've had a few stories from that region before, from that area before, and I've read quite a few stories from that area, and I don't think I want to go there. I just don't think I want to go there. Although this place sounds pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. And the fact that this person was like, yeah, I hear the key guy the key man every night, just is enough to be like, okay, so this is like a reoccurring spirit where they're just literally going about their nightly checks. Like, that's just crazy to me. It's like a residual haunting. And then the other ones, I don't know what the shadow person is. It's kind of spooky, honestly. Like, shadow figures in themselves it's just spooky. It's spooky when you see that. It's spooky when you hear about it. It's just spooky because there are no details. It's just a freaking shadow. And the fact that they're seeing this move around and even move around on camera, like, I love it, but it creeps me out. But I really do just love the fact that this has just it's just part of the job. And the fact that it was like a boys' industrial school before, and then they're seeing like a little boy, that kind of makes me sad because surely they would have had to die on the property, unless it's some kind of like horror movie where they show up as a boy, but it's really not a boy. Yeah, I hope you get where I'm going with this, because I'm not going to finish it because it creeps me out. It creeps me out of the location. I know that sounds really silly, but like, I don't like that. I just don't like that. But I do like the fact that like you can hear the keys jingling basically every night, and that makes me want to go. Like, can I just come now and like investigate the place, even though I know it's a freaking prison and I probably can't just come there and investigate because it's a prison. But if I ever got the chance to, I know that I'd probably hear some keys jingling, and I think that would be pretty cool. And honestly, I might pee my pants, but like, it would be so cool. It really would be cool. I just love paranormal stuff. And I love that spooky season is officially here. I'm going to leave it at that. What do you guys think of this? Do you have a story like either story today or any paranormal story in general? I would love to hear it. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And well, it's an odd world after all. Oddballs. Thank you for listening. And if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to leave 5 stars or thumbs up on whatever podcast platform you listen on. If you have any comments for this episode, comment below or head over to Instagram and comment on this episode's preview. To submit a story or for more information, go to itsanoddworldafterall.com.